The cycle of Trump, according to Raoul Pal, is just getting started. Huge profits are on the horizon. Wednesday is the day when Brad Garlinghouse is scheduled to go before the Senate Banking Committee with his testimony. Additionally, we have recently obtained some additional information regarding the amount of smart contracts that have been put on the EVM sidechain on the XRPL, and the figure is unbelievable. On the XRP ledger, we are also going to have a look at some of the most prominent DeFi projects that are now available. In this section, we're going to discuss tokenization, a recently published report, and the reasons why the XRP ledger is the most talked about instance of tokenization. When you get to the very end, there is some news. When it comes to Ripple, Ondo, and Oasis Pro, you really must see it. We're going to begin with the guy himself, Brad Garlinghouse, so let's get this party started. I would like to express my gratitude for the opportunity to speak in front of the Senate Banking Committee on Wednesday about the need of adopting laws regarding the cryptocurrency market. We're grateful to the chairman of the Republican Party in the financial sector, Senator Tim Scott, Senator Loomis, and Senator Ruben Gelogio. As the heads of the subcommittee for digital assets, your leadership has been exceptionally important, not only at this hearing, but also throughout the years when you have been advocating for the cryptocurrency business, for the purpose of bringing us to this crucial time. Having somebody like Brad Garlinghouse up there telling Congress exactly what is required from the industry in order to make it flourish here in the United States is exactly the kind of people we want talking to Congress in order to help set the table for legislation. Listen, crypto regulation is coming, and this is exactly what we want to happen. There is bound to be a more appropriate way to express it. I'll get to work on it. That's true. The Trump 2017 cycle is happening again. Pay attention to what I have to say, Raoul Pal. We are now in the Trump cycle. 2017 is the year that we've been discussing this. Following Trump's arrival, the markets responded. Regarding tariffs, the same dread, the same thing, every single thing, even the currency went up. What occurred this time around was exactly the same as before. People are people, that much is certain. What transpired was that the dollar saw a decline towards the conclusion of the year 2016. At the tail end of the year 2024, it was torn. The dollar ripping is a tightening of financial conditions that plays through markets and the economy 3 months later, which is why we don't have the correction in the first quarter. Why don't we have the correction in the early quarter? As part of the M2 thing, we shared all of this information with you. According to what we mentioned at the time, we have been keeping an eye on this situation since before the dollar reached its peak, and we have predicted that he will opt for a weak dollar. They stated that they want the currency to be weak, and fuck me, things have been weak for the dollar. It has been an extremely significant shortcoming. At this point, this is not some kind of structural flaw that never goes away. When we decide to alter the rules of the game, that will happen at some time in the future. At the moment, Trump and lessons are pushing cyclical weakness, and it will continue to do so in the future. Furthermore, this is a fantastic tailwind for the markets and risk exposure. There are many significant things that lie ahead. To put this into perspective, during the first week, the XRP EVM sidechain saw the deployment of close to $1,000 1,400 smart contracts in order to have a better understanding of the information that was back here. In addition, I was curious about the most hyped up XRP projects that you are currently working on utilizing smart contracts. I also desired to have a deeper comprehension of this. In the event that you are not aware with the concept of an Ethereum virtual machine, EVM sidechain, Ripple and Pierce's technology have introduced a sidechain that is compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine for the XRP ledger. The complete range of Ethereum decentralized applications, dApps, decentralized finance, DeFi, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and other cryptocurrencies are now able to be integrated into the XRP ecosystem thanks to this. As for the gas token, the answer is yes, it does utilize XRP. XRP that has been wrapped is the native gas token that it utilizes, just so you are aware of that information. This is when interoperability comes into play. Through the use of the Axler bridge, the sidechain is linked to the primary XRP ledger. This connection makes it possible for assets to be transferred between XRP, Ethereum, and dozens of other blockchains. If projects are interested in moving over to the XRP area or building in the XRP space, keep in mind that we have a fantastic XRP army and a fantastic community here. The result of this will be more liquidity. This will result in the addition of new users. And precisely this is what we have been lacking throughout the course of the past few years. Therefore, it discusses the native protocols of the DeFi system. Protocols for loan and yield farming are discussed in this article. That is not something I'm going to pursue. Please take a moment to pause and read that if you feel the need to. The following is some information on initiatives that involve passive income and cloud mining. Miner for DRML. Users are able to earn XRP rewards through structured mining contracts thanks to this project, which presents a simulated cloud mining mechanism for XRP. If you're interested in it, I would appreciate it if you could go and look at it. You are required to conduct your own independent research. I have not thoroughly examined each and every one of these initiatives. Simply said, I was curious to see what AI would come up with in response to my request for the most interesting projects on the XRP ledger. PMF Crypto, which is yet another new entrant, is also mentioned. A smart cloud mining contract that provides daily XRP incentives is made available by PFM cryptocurrency. It goes without saying that you want to make certain that the person in charge of this project is a genuine individual. Be skeptical if you don't see a team or anybody else engaging in the interaction. The article discusses tokenization, asset tokenization, and the new capabilities of smart contracts that are enabling projects to tokenize real-world assets, including as property, art, and commodities. This makes these assets marketable and programmable on the XRP ledger. The topic of stablecoins is discussed. In addition to that, it discusses the best DeFi applications, including First Ledger, Magnetic, Moa, Finance, and Us.Thankx. The two that I'm familiar with are this one and this one. Not heard of either of them. On the XRP ledger, these are some of the most prominent decentralized finance applications that are already live and in development. They include services such as staking, liquidity provisioning, decentralized exchanges, and more. It discusses the reasons why these projects are creating excitement, the compatibility of EVMs, cross-chain liquidity, the expansion of DeFi, innovations in passive income, and it also discusses the tokenization of financial assets. I was also interested in looking at this report that is located here. A boom in tokenization is on the horizon, and we anticipate that the trend towards asset tokenization will pick up speed in 2020. The establishment of a regulatory framework for tokenized securities is something that we think will take place in the year 2025. In addition, it discusses the amount of billions of dollars that money market funds have the most assets, which amount to $30 billion. At the moment, I am doing work on another video that involves market cap multipliers. For example, if you were to add $5 or $10 billion to the XRP ledger right now, it might have a significant impact. With only those $5 billion, we're talking about a market valuation that is anything from $500 billion to $1 trillion. The amount of money that is coming in actual worth might truly go anywhere from 200 to 600 times higher than that. Consequently, if we are able to begin bringing $5 billion, $50 billion, or $100 billion worth of actual financial assets to the XRP ledger, then all of that value has the potential to power up the ledger.